I'm going to take a crack at actually talking here. I'm going to show you the Morningstar is going to be my main focus here. I'm going to be using my Faith Luck build to show you that. It's probably not, maybe not the most powerful way to do it, but we'll get into that later. We've got the Henri's Straight Sword, the Hollow Morningstar. We've got a Hollow Knight Shield, Solaire's Talisman there, Standard Helm, Wolf Knight Armor, Hovel Gauntlet, Outrider Knight Leggings, Chloranthy Ring, Ring of Favor, Hornet Ring, and Priestess Ring. The rings could probably be swapped out, except for maybe the Priestess Ring, because we use that to get our buffs. Stats are, I'm level 121, decided to take an extra level, for luck. And then Hollowing's at 99, that's pretty important. Vigor's at 36, don't need a whole lot. Perseverance brings a defense bonus. Endurance coming in at 30, using one-handed weapons, don't need a whole lot. Vitality, 25, that's enough to carry my weight. Actually brings me to an equip load of 666, which is pretty funny. Strength at 20, that's just a little extra to boost that Morningstar up just a little bit, up into that 305 range. Then we've got Dex 10, that's just your minimum stats. You've got for the Henri Straight Sword, Intelligence at 10. The reason for that is actually PvE. I use Hidden Body and the Stealth Ring you get from the Wizard vendor there, Orbeck, I think. And it makes some of the real rough areas basically a joke. Makes them super easy. So it's something to get through the game real quick so I can run through NG++, NG+, whatever, without it being a big deal, just dealing with bosses. Faith is actually at 25, but is up at 30 because of the Priestess Ring. Luck is actually at 36, but it's up at 46 right now because I do have a Hollow Morningstar and the Hollow Knight Shield. So now we're going to go ahead and try and demonstrate for you. Show you a little PvE, a little PvP. Yeah, let's do it. Now, as far as PvE, one of the biggest problems that I had, especially early game, was that there are a lot of enemies in this with the Bloodborne speed, aggression, and stun lock ability. But you are still Dark Souls slow, and your Estus definitely don't fire off like a blood syringe. Now, this little squad of bird people here, the Corvians, they're like a perfect example. Not only do they act like Bloodborne, they look like Bloodborne. Like they almost look out of place. But they're super aggressive. You know, one-on-one, they're not a big deal. And this is New Game Plus, so they're doing quite a bit more damage. But you can see here, I'm just trying to use my straight sword and even trying to use the shield, but your stamina is not going to last. Not with a medium shield. And at this point, so I switched to my Morningstar, you know, thinking, all right, let's do this. But playing like crap and didn't realize that my focus points were gone, so I'm still getting stun locked. But it's kind of a good thing that, kind of good, I guess, that I was playing badly. Because what, you know, it's still running away. Because what this basically shows is, once I get my focus points back, this fight went from a shit show to easy. Look at that. It's decimated. No problem at all. You know, it just, the tides turned immediately against those things. And so that's a major benefit. Now, as far as PvP, like I said, I do use the Henri Straight Sword. And especially against guys like this, who he's using a bleed build. It's extremely powerful. It may as well be a giant weapon that moves super fast. So I really wanted to use the Henri Straight Sword. Now, the thing here is this guy, I started this in the middle of the fight. This guy several times, I hit him, he rolls, attacks. So I was like, you know what? There you go. Hit him, now watch. Roll, parry, you know. And that's just kind of, you know, he got locked into that pattern. He got into that habit, looking to roll, attack over and over again. It'll happen. I've caught myself doing similar things, let myself go into the groove. But, hey, you know, you get caught with a parry, and it's going to hurt like hell from a buffed Henri Straight Sword, I'll tell you that. Now, here we have a guy using the Profaned Greatsword. It's a powerful weapon, a little too strong for me to trade with, I think, but I'm going to try anyway, you know, because it's experimentation time. And every time he goes one-handed, I'm looking to parry the thing because I know how much damage it does. And you can see I almost get it. But he goes back to two-handed. He realized what was up there. But I'm not really... The hardest weapon to go up against with this is Ultra Great Swords. For me, anyway. They're very fast, and that poke move, it's just... You can't get anywhere near the damn things. And here I try for this, you know. So I trade nothing. and burned out all my focus points for no reason at all. See, I'd been used to using the simple shield, where I always, pretty much always could use that perseverance again, so it threw me off a little bit. See, I tried to use it. I switched to the straight sword, just because, you know, it's not going to do me any good without perseverance. But here he misses that first parry, and now he's dead, because I'm changing up my attacks. You know what I mean? I'm not hitting the same button, I'm varying the speeds, and all he's doing is hammering away on that L2 button. If he hadn't done that, he probably would have won. If you're going to hammer away on the L2 button, it only works if they're hammering on their R1. You know, it's the only way. Now, getting into the bleed factor of the Morningstar, it is a part of it, and you can put Carthus Rouge, and for the most part, people die before they bleed. But builds like this fella right here, who are just, you know, obviously a heavy weight build. You know, he's got a lot of heavy armor and a heavy weapon. You can see there's the bleed pop. These guys seem to be more sensitive. Now, I would guess, my guess is they stacked into vitality and have low endurance as exchange, and endurance is linked to your bleed defense. This guy right here, not necessarily the same thing. I wasn't sure. So what I'm trying to figure out right now is whether or not I can actually trade with this weapon. It looks like I can a bit, but I really can't take a double hit. I got to make sure I have that poise up. So just kind of watching him, you know what I mean? But I do have that bleed on, so letting him sit around, you can see right now his bleed bar should be dropping. But for whatever reason, I'm going to guess that's funny. That happens a lot. People try to parry the weapon art, which is great. So I guess it acts as a bait in that respect too. Definitely want to mix up where it is. I mean, I'll use it a lot, but you don't want to super spam it. But you see, I take the trade, and boom. That's where the trade pays off, is how the bleed works in that situation. Because even though the trade wasn't very good, I got that bleed off. This guy, again, another example of someone just hammering away. I think... And there's the bleed on the final hit. We're both out of stamina at this point. And he knows what's up. Now, here again, trying to get that bleed going. Got the Carthus Rouge on. And just looking to, you know, try and trade off some hits. And even with the Rouge, it's alright. Now, with a lightning buff, now you can see, there's the spam again. And he screwed himself because he got the parry. So I decided I'm going to show him how it's done. And here we go. Very obvious, very easy. But here's the important part. On the third hit, there it is. And that's almost all that I hit this guy. So I don't know if he just had low or whatever, but he did have the 3 hits, and I believe counter does increase it. Now, against this fellow right here, he's using the Fume Ultra Greatsword. I've got the Henri Straight Sword instead of the Morningstar because, perseverance aside, you're not trading with a Fume Ultra Greatsword. You know, he is two-handing it, so maybe... he doesn't have the full strength, but more likely he's doing that because either the moveset and the fact that he gets parried when he one-hands it. Now, just doing what the Henri Straight Sword does and just looking to sneak in those hits, it's a much better weapon up against these Ultra Great Swords, which with the Morningstar, I have the most trouble against, is these, because you really can't get anywhere near them. For the most part, you can't trade with them, and basically, you got to just... That's why I have a straight sword. Now, again, with people very obviously trying to parry, so we're going to make sure he doesn't get a parry. There you go. And he's dead. So, you know, I mean, it's an obvious tell. That's pretty standard knowledge, I would guess. But, so, just a good example of why the Henri is part of the build. Now, this is a fight club I got summoned to. There's 5 fights total. And they're all very quick. And they're all excellent examples of where the Morningstar really excels. We just, you know, mentioned where the Henri Straight Sword is preferred. But in this situation, against small, fast weapons, what you're really looking for is the Morningstar. It conquers them because they can't do enough damage to make your perseverance not matter. This guy's getting smart. You know, he's staying out of the way. He's not getting in there so I can hit him and get the counters. So I decided to maybe go with the one-hand moveset and get that shield, you know, just get a change up, get some hits in, and then he rolls right back in. There we go. Or, you know, it did not literally roll. I meant like rolling, like you see me roll. And never mind, I'm sorry. So we get the parry right there. That doesn't quite finish him. There's a pro strat for you. Aim your camera down, and your jump attack will become a hop attack. And for whatever reason, it nails people on wake up all the time. All the time. Typically only if they roll straight back, though. So I guess if you're laying down, maybe roll it to the side. And now this guy, Another little fast weapon. He's got a buff, looks like a thrall axe. Alright, it doesn't look like. I know it is. It's an interesting fight because what we have here is him utilizing a weapon art that gives you the Bloodborne dash. And I'm using a weapon art that gives you the Dark Souls 1 full hovel defense and poise temporarily. So he really didn't know what to do, especially with that kind of funny weapon. So he went back to his greatsword hoping it'll bail him out, and it doesn't. When you're not getting two-hand stuns, you're not going to be able to trade. Your hyper armor gets kind of nullified on any of those mid-range great weapons, like the great swords and large club, I guess. You know, like the mid-range or upper mid-range, whatever. You know what I mean. This guy, I actually can't remember what he was using. Oh, katana. Katana, another one that you crush. Estoc, another one that just gets absolutely smashed by this weapon. Any kind of pokey swords, any kind of dark sword. So if you hate those weapons, here's your solution right here. If you're a strength build, probably use a mace. This build could be a lot more powerful if I was just strength luck. I believe that was actually a bleed pop. This is actually the first guy. It's a rematch from earlier. It's all in a row, all the same fight. And what was I saying? Yeah. So if you went strength luck, this Morningstar would be incredibly powerful. And it would open up a whole lot of other options. Just the thing is, because I started as a cleric, I did want to use the faith. And it opens up those PvE options given the buffs. And it's a nice kind of balanced setup with that same kind of benefits that you have using big weapon, little weapon, which is pretty much the meta at this point. And you can see most of the people I fought, big weapon, little weapon. The Bloodborne. Maybe it's just on PS4, but... You see, this guy just doesn't know what to do. You know, he just panics. He's like, well, whatever, I'll just try to hit him and do no damage. You know, so it's all based on taking a hit. This next fella here, I fought him many times on this particular day, and none of them went well for me, except for the last one, because I did what I should have been doing the whole time, which was switch to my Henri's straight sword. Now, he ain't having none of this, and an ultra great, just as I said, and this one is particularly nasty. Yeah, that hitbox is... It aggravates me. See, this Vihander, you remember from earlier, I was able to just sidestep. I didn't even need to roll. This thing, well, that was just a direct hit. I just didn't get my thing off. But this thing, like, coming up right here, it's just, ugh. I thought it was lag, but this weapon has become super popular, apparently. And you can see it right here. Yeah. I'm just getting ready. I'm trying to look for the... yeah, okay, yeah, that totally hit me. Come on, man. Well, this last fight's just a mage. I just thought it was interesting because it was messing with me, and it was basically working the same way my way was working, because it was just an unusual playstyle that you don't really see. You can see the spear bounced off. I don't know the timing on that, and every time it's happened, it's been a spear, so I assume maybe smaller weapons. But it is something. It's definitely related to the perseverance. I've seen it quite a few times, but I don't know if it's like basically if you nail it at like parry timing, maybe. And you see right here, I am able to smash through him and get it done. I don't know how he managed to roll away before dying, but whatever. So if you made it all the way to the end, I hope you enjoyed. Perseverance is king. There's definitely much better weapons to use it with. I'm interested in Dragon Tooth. I'm going to try next. The mace would probably be a better option, or using the Morningstar as just strength bleed to maximize the damage. There's a whole lot of options. Really, it's just the weapon art itself, and like this is almost a better example because it's not that powerful. You know what I mean? And you can still win fights with a weapon with only a 300 attack rating that doesn't have a particularly fast move set. It solves it all. Well, either way, thanks for watching. Enjoy.